Okay, so I'm going to flip the screen so you guys can see this. So this is the video, the first number video that I created on TikTok. And I don't know if you guys have already seen this one, but it's animated, so it's kind of cool. So we're going to go ahead and go through this basics. This is a really, even if you already know your numbers, especially if you already know your numbers in Navajo, 1 through 10, this is the perfect opportunity for you to learn to read and write. And because if you know how to say 1, the neck etche 1, but you're gonna, this is how 1 is written, right? That's gonna help you with your pronunciation, right? You already know how to say it. This is how it's spelled. So now you know, okay, that sound is and that sound is and that sound is I. Okay, so this is for those of you that know, that are fluent speakers and are just trying to learn how to read and write. This is a good way for you to learn, because here you can see that it's written as it should be. So 1, okay? And as I say these words, repeat after me, say them along with me. So the more you practice, the better. 1. Okay, one more time. And I know we talked about the glottal stop right here. So this is a glottal stop. If the glottal stop follows a vowel, then it's a glottal stop. And it makes the sound like that's where you're going to stop. There's an emphasis to a stop there. But if that same character follows a consonant, that's part of that consonant, because that's one sound right there. So then it's no longer a sound. Now this is a t. It's part of the T. Okay, so ta. All right, next one. Na ki. Oops. Okay, see the vowel ado I. The 2 vowel sounds I, and the word is na ki. 2 na ki. There's no high tone, no nasal tone. It's just very plain na ki. Three. Okay, long vowel high tone. The word is ta. 3. Ta. Long vowel I, high tone nasal combo. E. And the word is D. 4. Okay, the 2 vowel sounds. Do, and the word is ashtla. 5. The vowel sounds. Auto kuji and the word is hastan. 6. Hastan. The vowel sounds. Auto and the word is it. 7. The vowels. That face right there. The vowels. Auto put A. E. And the word is tsebi. 8. Tsebi. Okay, here we have a couple more vowel sounds. Ah. Auto ah. Auto A. And the word is nahaste. 9. Nahaste. Okay, vowel sounds. Do the ara kujinana. And the word is nezna. 10. Nezna. Okay, for these, we'll go ahead and just say I won't go through the vowel sounds, but we'll go ahead and just say the numbers. Hla, tsada. Hla, tsada. 11. Hla, tsada. Na ki tsada. Na ki tsada. 12. Na ki tsada. And here's one of those the rising vowels we talked about. Tsada. Tra tsada. Tra tsada. So if you know your numbers 1 through 9, the teens are going to be pretty easy because you just add tsada to the end. Tra tsada. 13. Ada Kunet. Thank you so much for all the gifts. Yeah. Di tsada. Di tsada. 14. Di tsada. Ashtla tsada. Ashtla tsada. 15. Ashtla tsada. Hastran tsada. Hastran tsada. 16. Hastran tsada. Sostid tsada. Sostid tsada. 17. Sostid tsada. Tsebi tsada. Tsebi tsada. 18. Tsebi tsada. Nahaste tsada. Nahaste tsada. 19. Nahaste tsada. Nadine. Nadine. 20. Nadine. Okay, and then, so when you say, sometimes when you become more fluent, you're not always gonna, when you speak sentences and stuff, sometimes you won't see for fluent speakers, they'll drop the tsada part, and they'll just say, like, you'll hear them say naste ada, just because of shlaada hashaada, because it, you know, it's just like Spanish. When your words are flowing, you'll notice that certain sounds get dropped, and that's just because of like the natural flow of fluency in the language. So sometimes you'll hear that without the t sound, but for learning purposes we put the t in there. Okay, so let's start from the beginning, and then we're just going to say the numbers 1 through 20 in one long flow. All right, okay, you guys ready? Okay, biga a llae na ke ta di ashla hastra sost it se bi hanahast a nes na llatsada na kitsada tratsada ditsada ashtlatsada hastratsada sostitsada sebitsada nahastetsada nadine. Good job, guys. Njana biga. Okay, and then we'll go on to the next video in continuation with numbers. And here we get a little bit more, it's a little bit more on the advanced side. So this one, so yeah, if you know any littles that will benefit from that video, it's on my TikTok channel, also on my YouTube channel. So definitely share that video for beginner learners. Yes, and thank you guys for being in the class and all the likes, shares, all the gifts. I appreciate it. And also I wanted to just share with you guys well, I'll do that in a little bit. We'll just continue with this one. My son was way ahead of you, 1 to 20. Nice. That's awesome. Okay, so we have counting past 20. So we count, and this was kind of hard for me to explain in this video because this was way before the 3-minute video options came into play. I did this. I had to try to explain this within a 1 minute video. Okay, so if you know your numbers 1 through, or 2, like 1 through 10, basically, you already know the root words of your 20th, your 10s, right? If you see the kuje na ki, the na, and you're gonna say na deen, right? The same thing with the 3, ta, you're gonna say ta deen. So you're basically just adding the deen to the end of the root word over here. So di, ashla, hastra, tost, sebi. Do you guys see that? Nahast a, nes na. So it just continues like that. So we have 20, nadine, 30, tadine, 40, disdine, 50, ashladine, 60, hastadine, 70, Sos'edin. Sos'edin. 80. Tsebidin. Tsebidin. 90. Nahast-eddin. Nahast-eddin. 100. Nez-nadin. Nez-nadin. Okay, from the top, one more time. Say along with me. Shitledine. Nadin. Tchadin. Dizdin. Ashtladin. Hastchadin. Sos'edin. Tsebidin. Nahast-eddin. Nez-nadin. Okay, does that make sense? My explanation with the root word of each number. Okay, so that is counting in tens. Okay, and we'll let this play here. And I also wanted to share with you guys, if you guys want to support me, and while the thing plays, I have this. You can support me. Like I said, my legal name is Clarissa Garcia, but I go by Yazi. And you can send a donation to my Venmo or Cash App, or you can just buy a shirt from me. And you can do that by finding me on Instagram or on Facebook, and then you can direct message me on there. So that is just my brief commercial right there. Biddy is like saying, I don't know if you're familiar with Spanish. It's like saying gorda or gordo, like somebody who just likes to eat. Somebody who likes to munch a lot. And then the chin. So it's like, by my shirt says Biddy and Proud, hashtag the chin. And so yeah, it's a slang term. Okay, so we have, oh no, not there. I meant to take off the the green screen. Push the wrong button. Okay, here we go. So continuing. So then when you add from the numbers 21 to 29, what is it? Numbers from 21 to 29 are different from all other numbers that are into tens. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I go. So typically when you say anything other than the 20s, you're going to say like 30 and 1, 30 and 2, 30 and 3, or 40 and 1, 40 and 2. But 20s is the only time you're going to drop the and. Okay, when you say the 20s. So you would say nadin sha, which basically means 21. Nadin na ki, 22. Nadin tra, 23. So that the reason why I made those first two slides about knowing your numbers 1 through 10, and then knowing your tens, basically, then you can say all the numbers from 1 to 100. Because as long as you know those two root terms, the tens and then 1 through 10, you got this. You could say any number, and it's basically just repetitive. Nadine tra, Nadine di, Nadine ashla, Nadine hastran, Nadine tosit, Nadine sebi, Nadine nahaste. Okay. So those are the 20s. And then let's see, the 30s. Okay, the numbers from 31 to 99 contain the words doba'an or doba'an. So again, it just depends on, you know, like I mentioned before, the Navajo language has dialects. So sometimes you'll hear somebody say ba'an or ba'an. This pattern continues on throughout the numbering system. Okay, for example, here we go. Tadin do ba'an t'alai. So do ba'an is like saying and over, and or plus. So it's like saying 30 plus 1. So you would say Tadin do ba'an t'alai. Tadin do ba'an naki. Tadin do ba'an tra. Tadin do ba'an din. Tadin do ba'an ashla. Tadin do ba'an hastran. Tadin do ba'an tostid. Tadin do ba'an tebi. Tadin do ba'an nahast a. Okay, and then 40 obviously is going to be Disdeen, and we already reviewed that in the beginning of the video. So when we go 40, of course we're going to go Disdeen do ba'an t'alai. Disdeen do ba'an naki. So then you just replace this part with the, you know, the 40, the 50, 60, 70, 80. Disdeen, ashladeen, hastadeen, tostadeen, sebedeen, nahastadeen. Okay. I think that is the rest of the video for the counting from 20 to 100. Okay, any questions about that? Okay, so then here we have peso, peso, do peso, anel egi. Okay, so if you guys want to review these videos, again, these are on my TikTok channel, and then they're also on my YouTube channel. So you guys can go on there anytime to review, you know, at your leisure. Although today's lesson will also be posted on my YouTube channel. So if you missed the beginning of the class, or you don't make it through the end, just go to my YouTube channel and I'll put the dates on there of when the class was. Okay, so here we have peso, do peso, egi, money amounts. Okay, dollar in Diné is stated as peso. To say how many dollars, you state the number. Examples: $1, t'alai peso. $2, naki peso. $3, tra peso. $4, din peso. $5, ashla peso. $6, hastran peso. $7, tostid peso. $8, tebi peso. $9, nahast a peso. $10, nezna peso. So as long as you know your numbers, you're going to be good to go, because all you got to do is add peso to the end of that dollar, the dollar amount. Okay? So peso could be both a dollar and the general concept for money. Yes. Oh. So you can say like, if you say like, "she peso a den," I have no money. You know, that's what that translates to. And then you have to say, when you reference how much money you have, you're obviously going to put peso at the end, because you can't just say, ashla shehelon, you know, unless you specifically were talking about money right before that, then that would make sense. But if you just said ashla shehelon, I have five, that doesn't, you have five of what? So you have to say, I have $5. So ashla peso. Okay, and now here we get to a little bit more advanced part, is adding the coins. Or not, sorry, not adding the coins, adding the, going further than the $10. So we have, so doing the money is very, when you're translating money, when you write it down, it's just going to be the longest, like it's going to be like you're going to be writing essentially like almost a complete sentence when you're translating money into written form. So here it's $18. Tebit ada peso. See, $23. Nadine ta peso. So you just write the number and then add peso at the end. $36. Tadin doba an has tan peso. Tadin doba an has tan peso. $36. $72. Sos edin doba an na ki peso. Sos edin doba an na ki peso. So these right here are just the numbers that we learned when we went through the numbers from 10, 20 to 100. Okay, let's see how long this goes for. Okay, peso, coins. Okay, so we have the penny. And the penny can either be called lechi or sandao. Lechi or sandao. Again, that's used depending on where you're from. Some people use lechi, some people say sandao, some people use them interchangeably. And then the word for nickel is litso. Litso. And that's also the word for yellow in Navajo, litso. So when you say litso, you could either be talking about a nickel or the color yellow. Litso. Dime, dot is. Dot is. And one of the things that I don't know is, I'm sure I've been asked this several times, where did these terms come from? How did the nickel become litso? How did the dime become dot is? I don't know. That is something that I need to research as well. So I don't know the history behind why these were named as such. Okay, so dot is 15 cents. Quince. Quince. Now that one I know comes from Spanish. So the Spanish translation for 15 is quince. So it's like the same thing. It's just spelled with Navajo phonetics. Quince. Quarter, na kiyal. Na kiyal. $50, dinyal. Dinyal. 75 cents. Hastanyal. Hastanyal. Okay, so from the top, Lichi or Sindao. Litso. Dot is. Ginse. Na kiyal. Diyal. Hastanyal. And that is how you say coins. Let's see. Okay, and here's a good note. It's only for these exact amounts that these words apply. Hlitso, for 5 cents. Dod is dime. Quince, 15 cents. Nakiyal, quarter. Diyal, half dollar. Hastanyal. Okay, now you can count just like how we did the counting in 10. So you can count dimes from 1 to 4 and 6 to 9. This is it's a little bit, it sounds really complicated, but once I start going through saying them, you'll understand, hopefully you'll understand what I'm talking about. So we have 10 cents, you're essentially saying 1 dime. You know that dotlij means dime, and you know the numbers 1 through 9, right? So t'ala means 1, dotlij means dime. So when you say 10 cents, you can say t'ala dotlij. When you say 20 cents, na ki dotlij, because 20 cents is 2 dimes, right? Na ki dotlij. 30 cents, 3 dimes, tra dotlij. 40 cents, 4 dimes, di dotlij. 60 cents, 6 dimes, has tra dotlij. 70 cents, 7 dimes, sos it dotlij. 80 cents, 8 dimes, tsebi dotlij. 90 cents, 9 dimes, nahast a dotlij. And why do you think we don't say 5 dimes? Because we already have a word for 50 cents, right? We have diyal. Hi Mel, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the gifts. Okay, so next we go on to, let's see what the next part is. Pennies may be counted up to 4 pennies and between 6 to 9 pennies. Okay, so the same concept. 1 cent, 1 penny, t'ala sendao. 2 cents, 2 pennies, na ki sendao. 3 cents, 3 pennies, ta sendao. 4 cents, 4 pennies, di sendao. 6 cents, 6 pennies, hastan sendao. 7 cents, that's 7 pennies, sos id sendao. 8 cents, 8 pennies, tsebi sendao. 9 cents, 9 pennies, nahast a sendao. Okay, and again, we're not going to say ishlat sendao because we already have a word for 5 cents, which is hitso, for nickel, right? Okay, so here we have examples of how you would translate dollar amounts. The word peso is used for dollars and is spoken in the place of a decimal point. Okay, so let's hear, for example, $9.34. Nahast a peso. That's $9. Do ba. So that means and, plus or and. Do ba. Tra dot is 3 dimes. Do ba. Di sendao, 4 pennies. So you're saying $9 plus 3 dimes plus 4 pennies. Nahast a peso. Do ba. Tra dot is. Do ba. Di sendao. Okay. $1.05. T'ala a peso. Do ba. $1 plus plus 1 nickel. T'ala'a peso doba'a litso. And you're not going to say t'ala'a litso because litso in itself is a unit, right? That's 1 unit. 1 unit of nickel. Okay, $42.25. Disdeen doba'a na ki peso doba'a na ki yal. Disdeen doba'a na ki, that's 42. Peso, dollars. Doba'a and na ki yal, 25 cents. Disdeen doba'a na ki peso doba'a na ki yal, $42.25. And that's where when I use examples for the coins that have their own names, you know, like the nickel, the dime, the quarter, the 50 cent, the half dollar. Okay, next example, $42.27. Disdeen doba'a na ki, 42. Peso, dollars. Doba'a and na ki dot is 2 dimes. Doba'a and, so it's sendao, 7 pennies. Disdeen doba'a na ki peso doba'a na ki dot is doba'a, so it's sendao. So you're saying $42 plus 2 dimes plus 7 pennies. That's what that translates to. Does that make sense? Thank you for all the gifts, you guys. I think that went to the end. Excuse me. Yes, that is the end of that video. Yeah, so that basically concludes that class. Again, we perfect timing. That was a good 45-minute, another 45-minute lesson. So now I can answer questions.